Here are some ways that you can incorporate languages in your everyday life as a beginner. The first thing that you can do is you can label your surroundings. So label the things that you'd often use in your house, like for example, the door, your bottle, and you can use sticky notes to do this. Whenever you see the words, you say them out loud so that you can practice your pronunciation and get used to actually saying that word out loud. This will help you to be able to say things easier and incorporate the language more in your everyday life. Also, try to use these words in simple sentences. You can start by saying something as simple as the door is here, la puerta está aquí, la porte est ici, something simple like that. You get the point. Use a language learning app in your free time. When I start to learn a new language, I usually start by using Duolingo because it's very simple. The exercises are very easy to do, and usually they last very short time. So, for example, like 3 to 5 minutes. So, whenever you have any free time, you can just hop onto Duolingo and do an exercise. That way, you'd actually be able to use the language in your everyday life and you're learning something in a fun way, I might add. Read product descriptions when you can. Usually, when I find products, I would find like a little section on the back that explains it in different languages. So you'd have English first, then Spanish, then French. If that's true for your target language, then whenever you see this, you can read them out loud or even in your head just to get familiar with the words. And you can also look at the English version and match up the words so that you can learn new words as well. Watch TV in your target language. Usually, what I do is I use Netflix and then I change the audio to the language that I want to learn. But I also recently learned that you can also change the subtitles so that it allows you to practice your reading skills. So you can either do one of two things. You can watch the movie or whatever it is that you're watching, change the audio so you can practice your listening comprehension, or you can use the audio in English and then change the subtitles to your target language so that you can practice reading and learning new words in your target language. Listen to music. This is actually one of my favorite ways to learn a language. I like to listen to the songs, learn the lyrics, and then practice my pronunciation by singing along. But I've also learned new words from songs because usually they're used in context. So whenever I see a word that I don't know, I would research it, I would learn it back in context. And whenever I forget the meaning of the word, I would just remember that song lyric in my head and then I remember exactly what it means. You can start by listening to very slow songs so that way you get used to the language. You can also start by using the subtitles so that way you can see the words of the language. And then eventually you're going to start learning new things and you'd be surprised how much you can learn just by listening to music. Use these tips and let me know how it works for you. Happy learning!